things on my thing now. Let me start by reporting that I've submitted my affidavit to court with regard to the Brian Molefe matter. I've instructed my legal team to withdraw my opposition to Part A of the relief sought, that I set aside my appointment of Mr. Molefe. I've nonetheless deposed an affidavit, as I believe the information I have will assist the court in determining its decision. My initial advice was to oppose Part A on the basis that I neither appointed nor reinstated Mr. Molefe, as well as on the basis of advice from Eskom's board that it had obtained an opinion from a senior counsel advocate on its handling of the matter. But having had the opportunity to properly appraise the issues, I have decided that I will abide by the court's decision on the legality of Mr. Molefe's return to Eskom. When Eskom's board approached me to inform me of its decision to bring Mr. Molefe back, I said I would support it on the proviso that it was legal. I also made this point repeatedly when addressing the media on this matter, though curiously, none of them thought it worthy of reporting. With regard to Part B of the motion, which seeks to stop Mr. Molefe from conducting any work at Eskom, I have reserved my rights. So there are two parts to this. One of the issues that the court will have to decide is a technical one relating to Eskom's memoranda of incorporation. Eskom is governed by various pieces of legislation, including the Eskom Conversion Act of Act 13 of 2001. Section 6.2 of the Act requires me from time to time to publish memoranda and articles of association. Two different memoranda of incorporation are relevant to Mr. Molefe's situation. One passed and adopted before his arrival at Eskom, and one passed during his tenure. Material differences between the two documents included that the 2014 version, and I was appointed in May 2014, did not require the minister to be noted as a party to the employment agreement of the group chief executive, noting though that the minister was required in the 2016 version to be noted as a person to be noted. This is not very articulate this morning. The executive employment contract concluded by Mr. Molefe and Dr. Ngubane in March 2016 was concluded in terms of the 2014 agreement. It didn't have to be shown to me at that time. When Mr. Molefe quit Eskom in November 2016, I was under the impression that he had resigned. In fact, on 11th of November that year, I wished him well and was sorry to hear that he has resigned. I was not aware that he had applied for early retirement. This I only learned in April 2017 after reading in the media that Mr. Molefe was receiving a 30 million rand payout from Eskom and asking Eskom's board to make a more prudent deal. Again, on Eskom's legal argument that Mr. Molefe was appointed under the terms of the 2014 MOI, the early retirement agreement didn't have to be shown to me. So on the 11th of May 2017, after taking advice from senior counsel, the Eskom board reverted to me with 4 options on the proposed 30 million rand payout to Mr. Molefe. As a courtesy, the board indicated to me Its preference was for the consensual rescission of Mr. Molefe's early retirement, and that it was willing to accept Mr. Molefe back as Group Chief Executive. I said I would support the board's decision, providing it was legal. As I told the media then, I believe that Eskom would obtain more value from having Mr. Molefe at work than simply paying out a 30 million rand. Colleagues, I didn't expect that society would universally welcome news of Mr. Molefe's return to Eskom following the allegations levelled against him in the Public Protector's State of Capture report. But nor did I anticipate the level of vitriol. I expected that his achievements as a technocrat, the fact that he would be under enormous scrutiny, and the presumption of innocence until proven guilty would bring some balance to the debate. But there is a presumption of guilt, despite the Public Protector's report being taken on review. As a society, as politicians, as media, we must beware of criminalization by association, particularly in the absence of anyone having been convicted of a crime. There is almost a climate of hostility presently surrounding our state-owned companies that incidentally belies their actual performance. It is an environment complicated by strident voices, the head of the ruling party's policy and elected conferences later this year, and by members of the opposition who view the State of Capture report as their tickets to Nirvana. I'm not telling you this to try and make you feel sympathetic towards Brian Molefe, Dr. Ngubane, or Eskom, but because I feel it's the truth. Dr. Ngubane is here. He will be able to answer whatever operational and technical questions you might have. I also see that Dr. Pat is here, and I see that Mr. Koza is here. They are board members. Dr. Pat Naidu, sorry, I couldn't remember your surname. Let me say in your and Dr. Ngubane's presence that I have noted concerns that have been raised about the board's performance to the extent that some have called for its dissolution. I don't think it would be fair to jump to any conclusions while this matter is before the court. I have, however, because Eskom has an AGM at the beginning of July, end of June 2017, I've already started the process where they have an external evaluator, which happens annually, because boards are appointed for 3 years and then they can be rotated annually, depending on their performance. And if I have, however, taken that legal advice on the process to follow, if a discussion is underway in government at the moment. Madam Chairperson, our giant state-owned companies, including Eskom, are critical leaders of the developmental transformative state. Where they err, we must fix them. But we must be very careful we don't allow our discourse to break them. Later this week, when Deputy Minister Martins and I present the department's budget vote, we will provide a progress report on the state-owned company's reform project and development of shareholder policy. Suffice to say now that the project will directly address some of the governance issues we are here to discuss today, including the appointment of chief executive officers and the creation of remuneration and pension standards. I thank you for the time you've given me. I will try my best to answer the questions you may have, and Dr. Ben Ngubane will do the same. Thank you.